Like, first of all, I'm not an LOL cow. You're never gonna catch me saying I'm an LOL cow, because I'm fucking not. No matter how many people try to push me into that box, I'm never going to give them what they want.
Rosie's in the kitchen. You know she's always pitching fits and moans and alibis. Big Rosie always lies.
And that is how you eat fast food on camera without glamorizing it into a mukbang, without showing all the food and doing all the theatrics. I'm so sick of that shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm so sick of seeing that shit on my TikTok and stuff. And like the people taking the like, oh exaggerated big eyed bites. I'm like, so great.
Rosie's rolling out of control, and Rosie's scheming, always freaking screaming. Rosie's eating while the family's pleading. Rosie's lying, someone hear us crying. £600 of trouble, watch the kitchen floorboards buckle. She says she's gonna change, but that's just rearrange. She's got that chair, XXL, beware. Rosie's rolling out of control, and Rosie's scheming, always freaking screaming. Rosie's eating while the family's pleading. Rosie's lying, someone hear us crying. Rosie's lying. She's got that chair, XXL, beware.
This one's not really jammy. I don't know if it's the video.
Rosie's rolling out of control, and Rosie's scheming, always freaking screaming. Rosie's eating, all the family's pleading. Rosie's lying, someone hear us crying.
Okay, I think I'm gonna cook the yolk a bit more because I don't want to do a drippy yolk on camera. I don't want to do shredded cheese. I want to do American cheese. I don't want to do shredded cheddar. That sounds gross. I won't be happy. I'm still not sure what I'm doing about my job. I'm still on disability. I don't have cheese. We're not doing cheese.
I don't have cheese. We're not doing cheese. Hello, everyone. How are you all today? What's been happening? It is my Easter Sunday. I'm clearly at church. Clearly at the Church of Twitter. Happy Easter weekend, you guys. Hope you're all doing well today. Okay, so yes, I've been at church since I woke up this morning, the Church of Twitter. And it's popping off. It's there's a lot going on over there. I am going to go through it quickly before we get started with the video, just so that everybody's up to speed. Now, I had a snack before I came on stream today, so hopefully we don't hear my stomach making loud noises. But anyway, let me say hi to you guys. Oh, make sure you're on live chat. I feel like with this thing on screen, you really don't have an excuse. Okay. Hi, Libby. Hey, Sassy Mama. Hey, Lazy. Justice for Lazy. Are you out of jail yet? Hi, Cara. Hi, Not by Kai. Brian. Panda. Rex. Heather. CCQ. Sassy Mama. Chocolate Cake Reef. We've got Sky. Hello, Sky. Thanks for being here. Thanks for modding. We've got Bank Factory. Welcome back. Good to see you. EBDB. Welcome in. Yes, I don't really know which playlist this one will go into. I do have playlists that categorize the different sort of behavioral issues. This one will probably go into the illnesses and disorders one. because maybe I'll change the title of that one to medical stuff or something. But welcome, welcome. Feel free to, after this, go and check out the playlist because I do sort of try to organize things by whatever she's faking that day. Hi, Polly. Hi, Miss Mew. Hi, Tinks. Nuts by Kai. Darkweek Games. Dorky Shitstain, welcome. Mermini, Auntie Crazy. Rendell, thanks for being here and thank you for modding. Christina, welcome, welcome. Darkwick. Miss T, hello. Celestial, hello. Miss T, thank you for being here. Have you got your biscuits and gravy at the ready? Thanks for modding. Celestial, we've got LaFay. Hello, LaFay. How are you? We've got Kathy. We've got Lady of the Night. Got Janelle here. We've got Wyoma here. Wyoma's a poop denier, guys. Wyoma, do you care to explain? Care to explain your poop denial? Okay. Crazy Cat Lady Stephanie. Just Danny. Nothing but love. Feminine. Thank you for being here and thank you for modding. Cece, hello. Found Fiber Art. Hi, how are you? We got Zingcat. Hello, how are you? Happy Easter weekend. He has Riz or whatever. Yeah, he got Riz. He wasn't impressed looking over that hoard the other day. Princess Brioche. Poison Petite. Mare and Bella. Young Thickums, hello. Lady of the Night, I said hi to you. Well, it might still grumble, Libby. You just never know. Never know around here. Hey, Wendy. Rex. We're going to look at all of that stuff before we get started with the video. It sure is something. Hey, Gigi, welcome. Hey, bunnies. Acadia, you made it. Good to see you, girl. How you been? Where you been? Busy. Busy living real life, I'm sure. Hi, Lisa. Fat Kid Cool, hello. Got Mind Perfect Life. Remember, don't sexualize our girl. Ladybug's Mama, hello, welcome. Who else is here? Mel's is here. Hello, Mel's, how are you? We've got Glam. Hello, Glam. How you doing? Poop doesn't exist. Where's the bright? What do you mean? I'm still editing, guys. I know I said I was probably going to get it out yesterday, but I didn't. But I will eventually. Trust me. One day I'll just be in the mood for editing and I'll get everything done. Thickums. Mish. We got Princess Pirate Pickle Pants. Got Lobo Mo here. Hello. Been traveling. Okay. Well, we missed you. We did indeed. We got Cara. Already said hello to you probably twice by now. Oh, doesn't exist. Where's the bright? I almost just hit end stream. All right. So where do we start? I think we start with just having a quick scroll of Twitter. I'm going to be kind of careful. I'm not going to click on any replies because I've seen that there's like some nudies and stuff in there. Now, because we are, of course, my phone rings as soon as I start, because we are going to be watching a medically kidnapping and mental health related thing. I do have the trigger warning here and the helplines and stuff at the bottom for you guys. So if, you know, you think you're going to be triggered by medical stuff, by mental health stuff, she does elaborate, embellish a lot. So rest assured, a lot of this is embellished, but I did hear that the hospital was quite bad. Like it does have bad reviews. So anyway, chocolate cake, gas station. Hello, patient 957. Welcome in, you guys. All right. So I'm gonna go over to Twitter and just hope that nothing too weird comes up. So it was a very simple thing. I don't know how it happened, but Goromi just said, Croaky love Rosie. Bra? Just a bra. Any bra would be appreciated, Roslyn Reed. And she said, hey, maybe don't sexualize me and stare at my chest, you freak. Love heart. And people went the fuck in. Hey, Ocean. They went the fuck in. There's like one comment defending her somewhere in all of this. And like they're just getting, she's just getting, I don't know why this took off like it did, but holy shit, they are not holding back. They are not holding back. And no one's sexualizing you. We're saying, hey, we don't want to look at your tatas. We don't want to. Like I'm all for people hanging around their house without their bra on, whatever. But this is me, right? There are other people out there who might be more conservative and don't want to see your breasts swinging around. And I mean, each their own. Like, I don't really give a shit about tits. Like, whatever. Wear a bra, don't wear a bra. I don't care. It's your life. But of course, there's going to be people who are going to comment on it. She knows this. So, oh my gosh, the sad Pikachu ears. Whoever said that the other day, my God, accurate. But like I don't care. I'm not boob shaming, but a lot of people are not impressed. But then again, it's Twitter. This is what Twitter be doing. This is what Twitter be doing. They'll jump on something and you're enemy number one for the day. Okay, so they're not being kind. Ah, dear. So anyway, you get the general gist. Everybody's saying, excuse me, how dare you say we're sexualizing you? Hey, Sarah, welcome. Glad you managed to catch a live. Hey, Blocked. So yeah, this is what's happening. People are being like, girl, how delusional are you? Like nobody's sexualizing you. We're saying like those things are flopping about. And they are. I mean, I don't care if she wears a bra or not, but some people will. Some people do. That's just the internet for you. So then I'll go back to the top because then I want to go over to her profile, which of course I'm blocked on. So here, oh, she's replying to people. Can you eat Israel? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. She's replying to people. Hey, Ilya. Shot. Anyone else who came in? I'm like glued over here. Hey, Freya. I'm like staring at the Twitter. Hey, Bella. Sorry, guys. Long White Cloud. Hello. Brio, I said hi to you tonight. Anyway, I'm like, just like, oh, I didn't realize she was replying to people. God, anyway, point is, she's not, I just want to get it on the fucking record. Hey, HRH. She did. I'll show you. She is really getting here. There you go. You want a screenshot? Oops. She sure did. Yeah, she's replying to people. Yeah, so I guess basically my point here is, hey, Jason, hey, Ayla. My point here is that there's no way that she can come out after this and claim victimhood, surely, because she's literally interacting with all of it. She's jumping right in there. Yeah, I will put the link to the tweet for those of you who are on Twitter. But I'm just in Rosie's replies. I'm just like went to her replies to see. And like, why is she talking about her boyfriend? Hey, Jessica. Hey, Dessa. Girl. Why is she like getting down and dirty with these people? Why doesn't she just ignore? What the fuck? Hey, Andrea. Hey, Dira. Hey, Venusville. Hey, Sid. Hey, Tinks. Hey, everyone coming in. Oh, my. Yeah, I didn't realize she was like interacting this much with them. All I was going to show you guys is that she ended up posting like a selfie. And I was like, way to give people more things to pick you apart for. You really think anyone wants you nasty, ugly obesity? I have a boyfriend, actually. Can't help it. You're just so sexy. And she goes, hey, man, keep in your pants. Children use this app. Shut the fuck up, Rosie. You used to post nudes on this app, bitch. So shut up about that. Yeah, so anyway, she then decided to put up a new profile pic in the midst of all of this. And like, yeah, can you eat? Israel is crazy. Oh, Jesus. Right. So anyway, yeah, she's really just feeding into it. And I just wanted to get that on the record so I can show you guys. There's no way she can turn around and say that she's being victimized because she is loving this. She's absolutely fucking loving it. She's actually responding to people. She's posting fucking selfies. I hate to say you asked for it, but you really seem like you're asking for it, mate. Like, and what is this photo? It looks like you got 2 punched eyes, honestly. Anyway, yeah, if anybody wants to see this, just go to Rosie's Rosie's replies. It's all there. Hey, Nick. Welcome in, everyone. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I can't believe she's actually interacting with this. A little bit surprised. Okay. What happened to let them, Roz? I know, right, Polly? Okay, so then I was just going to go and show you guys her sort of response to this, which is here. Pause. I don't know what the fuck this comment stack crap is, but can it go away? Maybe I just need to just log into it so it leaves me alone. Oh. Let me share this tab instead. So this was Rosie's. I didn't realize she had responded so much over on the Twitter, but I guess this is also her responses. And I'm pretty sure she posted this. This is when I was like waking up, or it was like the middle of the night for me. I don't know. It was like, oh, yeah, I was awake and then I couldn't go back to sleep because I watched the time go from 2:59 a.m. to 2 a.m. And I was like, ooh, an extra hour. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. Anyway, so I had a look at this and wow. Hey, Drella. Hey, Karen.
Good morning. I just woke up to I think one of my first ever quote unquote.
Oh, Millie. I said, oh, and Millie said, Bork. Hold on. I got to let her out my room. One sec.
Viral tweets. It could be worse, honestly. It's not that viral. Because I guess somebody's talking points in some reaction videos recently have been about the fact that I don't want to wear a bra in the comfort of my own home in shirts that are pretty fucking modest, generally speaking, and I told someone to stop looking at my chest and sexualizing me because it's weird. And I just woke up to so much.
My point is that I think this was like midday for her and she's just waking up. I think it was like 12 or something like that. If it was 3 for me, she's like 10 hours and a day ahead. Yeah, it was like midday or something.
Hate. I'm just kind of like, okay. I'm just, okay. I'm gonna keep it so real. At this point, I'm about to, like, out of spite, burn every bra I own. Because fuck y'all bitches.
This is her tough guy voice, you guys. This is like, oh, I'm so cool and so tough.
What the fuck is this shit? Like, I'm just minding my fucking business, so now we gotta
Hey, string cheese, welcome.
debate about whether or not I'm wearing
Hey, finish the story. Welcome to the chat.
bras. Get a fucking hobby, bro. Because it's very clear that whatever the fuck just happened, like, left the little niche corner of the internet that obsesses over every action I take. But
Hey,
like, why am I laughing? It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Have you guys ever I've shown it here on the channel before, the one where she's talking about the queef bubbles. Just casually about the queef bubbles. She had this same voice and the same wheeze. So intense. It was in one of my, like, I don't know, last week or the week before we watched it. Actually, I need to upload that as a short because it's so funny.
So truly dumb. I think that's why I'm laughing. It's just like, I'm not surprised, I think, because, like, the internet is so cruel right now, man. Like, everybody just defaults to being fucking evil and diabolical. 24.
Yeah, most of the people dragging her aren't Girl World. This is reached outside of Girl World now. I don't know what sphere it's ended up in, but yeah, they're dragging her. Have mercy. Welcome in. Yeah, she is seeking negative attention. She's loving this, but I love it too because now she can't cry victim about it because she's fully interacting with all of it. Hey, KY Dad.
24 goddamn 7. So I just blocked and report everybody that was in my notification.
Reported them for what, Rosie? That don't sound right. Hey, Hazley.
And then I left it at that because I just don't care. Like, just go away. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Cruelty is how weak people pretend to be powerful. I'm pretty sure they're just making fun of you because they really don't see you as a sexual object, but you think that they do. Yeah. Well, yeah, she can't weaponize it now because she's fully encouraging it. She's enjoying it. She's loving it. So anyway, I think that's that for that, unless you guys can think of anything else. Oh, I'll find it for you guys. Hang on. Really quickly. What was it? It was on TikTok, but it was on her secret TikTok. I guess she has got me. Oh, you know, here we go. So I think it was. So I think it's this one. Hold on. I will move you guys out the way. One sec.
Y'all ever wonder if anyone's ever...
Hey, Salty Mouse.
This is for vagina.
And hey, Goat. Here it is. Trigger warning. Queef bubbles.
Owners.
If anyone's ever like queefed, but then like, okay, so I think the context of this fucking TikTok is this person made a joke because their username, I don't even know if I can say it with TikTok guidelines, but I'll tag them. But they made a TikTok about their username and the availability of it, and it made me think. I wonder if anyone's ever queefed and blew a fucking
I didn't answer Freya's question because I thought I would just show you.
bubble. This app has destroyed my brain. Y'all ever?
Isn't it giving like the same kind of vibe to you guys? Anyways, so I'm going to now put on this was from January 2020. The time I was medically kidnapped. Anchor Medical Hospital story time. Here we go.
Stay real. And this is fucking real right now. Hi, welcome to me. Today's video is a really serious subject matter. I'm going to put a heavy trigger warning for this video. And it's going to be a story time style, I guess, because I'm just going to freely talk and tell part of my story that I feel like for the first time in my life I'm ready to talk about in a way that's not from like a completely traumatized state. I feel like the 4-year anniversary just passed of this event. It's been 4 years. And I think this time last year I wouldn't have been nearly as ready. I've talked about the story offhandedly here and there, but I haven't gone very in depth.
Okay, sorry guys, welcome. Millie can't decide what she's doing. She's like in and out and in and out. It's annoying me. Not like annoying me, but she's like, I can't make up her mind. So I'm like, no, you're just out. So she's probably gonna scratch on the door. Welcome in everybody who is coming in while I'm trying to deal with my dog. Little grey bird, welcome back. So yeah, I don't know what she meant by bubbles. Like, I don't know if I was picturing like in the pool or like in the bar. I don't know. I don't really want to think too hard about it. So yeah. So yes, guys, again, trigger warning. She is going to be talking about medical kidnapping, mental health stuff. She embellishes a lot, in my opinion. Like, I did read some reviews. The hospital did sound pretty bad, but we all know what Rosie's like. She embellishes. Maybe she read some of those reviews and decided, oh, yeah, me too. I don't know. Hey, Pupper Gupper. Yeah, I really don't know. But anyway, here we go.
But I found something today, and so I want to talk about it. So trigger warning, there's going to be really serious trauma mentions here. Like, I guess some people may consider this trauma dumping, but I'm giving you a fair warning. I am going to be kind of skating around other parts of the story and focusing mainly, I think, more so on the 5 days that this specific event took place, where, if you read the title, yes, I've been medically kidnapped before. And I think a lot of people don't even understand what that term means. It was
It's also another example of the way that she uses like over dramatic language to make things sound really, really bad, like purposefully triggering language. Me too, Cara, honestly. Hey, Strawberryatric, welcome back. Trigger warning. But really, she's going to probably talk about like people being medically held captive, people being abused, possibly. She may talk about SA. Just a general warning, guys. Like, if you do think that's going to set you off, this may not be the one for you, okay? So this says on the screen, I fucking hate this font. Medical kidnapping in this context with abusing involuntarily hold practices is in regards to being held against your will when unable to consent properly due to medical malpractice. The term is more common in reference to the state using doctors to take custody of children. Hey, Tagger. Hey, Kimberly Ann. Welcome in. Hey, BJ. How you doing, hun? So from my understanding, Rosie had a mental health crisis. She basically called an ambulance on herself. So, yes, when you believe that you're a danger to yourself, the hospital will hold you for a certain period of time. I think that goes without saying. Hey, Finn's mom, if they think that you're a danger to yourself or anybody else, they're going to hold you. Yeah, was there a medical ransom? And in this traumatic event of being held against her will for 72 hours or whatever it is, they also gave her dry grits and they didn't give her an extra pillow. Trauma. Okay.
It was something I found out about a bit after the fact. But you know, this event involves very light mention of
Enjoy the movie, Freya.
an essay event. It also mentions really significant abuse at the hands of medical professionals, not only to myself but to elders and other people, and specifically
Anthony.
talking about mental health inpatient facilities and what that can be like in American healthcare. This is my story about Anchor College Park, Georgia. Anchor is a mental hospital located in College Park, Georgia. It was over an hour from where I lived at the time and where I grew up. I grew up in North Metro Atlanta, and I had moved back there in 2019. I had a really rough.
You know what's really weird? She wrote like a long ass review and she posted it, I think, on her Instagram at the time. I'm sure I've got it somewhere. But when I looked at the reviews, I couldn't see her review. I'm just saying.
2019, just in general. 2 weeks before this event, I quit my job, obviously unrelated, but I had been working for a pretty horrific workplace. It's the only job I've ever walked out on. It's the only job experience where I feel like I dealt with like abusive management and staff, and that's a whole separate story. But I was floating in life, and I was really, really deeply unhappy. And I had just gotten back together with my ex, but we were under the like understanding that we were in an open relationship for the first time ever. And like prior to that, I had not been that way. And I had been going out partying, meeting a lot of people, doing a lot of things that I had made a lot of.
She has admitted herself into psych wards, I believe, 5 times. I have a graphic that I made. Hold on. What did I have it called? Probably called it just psych ward. I think it was 5 times. Psych ward. Yes. So since she's been on YouTube, there has been 3, and I believe that there were 2 before that, from what I gather. I think something like that. Have mercy. This is a retro. This has been deleted by Rosie. This was her story time about being medically kidnapped. All voluntary.
A lot of friends that year. I don't really speak to anyone from that period in my life because of just how off course I was.
There's at least this one, and then 3 since 2023. Yeah.
I was so not me. Like anyone that met me in 2019, they didn't fucking know me. They knew.
Okay, who came in? Rosie's unbuilt trampoline. Hello. Rosie tends to check herself into psych wards when it's part of her cycle. It's whenever she's being cancelled, basically. Whenever something is majorly not going her way, she'll check herself in, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know how else to summarize it. Hey, Poetic Justice. And none of it's helping. She'll take her meds for like 3 days, and that's it.
The most broken.
I've only got the graphic for the 3 that she did before, like since 2023, because this stuff was this was like in 2020, I think, that she's talking about the medical kidnapping. So These are the 3 times post psych ward that we have graphics of.
Version of me. They knew the most toxic version of me. They knew the most, like, frankly, like, strung out version of me. I was so addicted to THC vape carts that to this day, I still have a bump on my skull. Where is that? Right here. That formulated because I abused them so heavily. One day, I felt such severe pressure in my head as I was smoking it. I felt,
oh my God, you guys are hearing the THC bump story. Hey, Moon's Life, welcome. Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's just go back a bit. I believe I was given black market carts from someone for a good portion of this time.
to this day, I still have a bump on my skull. Where is that? Right here. That formulated because I abused them so heavily. One day, I felt such severe pressure in my head as I was smoking it. I felt this bump formulate, like, pop up in my skull. And at one point, when I finally had a neurologist touch it, like, no one's just taken it seriously yet that I've seen. So, you know.
So the story that she's telling is from 2020 2020-ish, I believe, 2020. Which is interesting because I've got footage of her in 2023 talking about these being 14 days sober from the THC vapes.
Finally had a neurologist touch
So
it.
is it every time she goes in there, it's because of THC vapes or what?
Like, no one's just taken it seriously yet that I've seen. So, you know, I did get a head scan. Like, at some point, I got a CT scan, but I'm too fat for an MRI or anything else to, like, kind of figure out what happened. But I've not really been the same since. So, you know, don't THC vape. Don't vape, period. God, don't vape. Just kind of want to set the scene.
In the Jeff era, she was vaping again.
January 1st was coming up, and I knew that when the new year came in, I wanted just to hit the job hunt, try to find something better, because I was living in the red. I was on the verge of being homeless. This was the beginning of a long stretch of period of housing crises for me during the COVID pandemic and all of that. So obviously I didn't know that at the time, but I walked out. I was really depressed at Christmas. I spent Christmas with some friends of mine. And then I had, like, a ton of opportunities to go out for New Year's. I could have gone to downtown Atlanta, gone to a nightclub. I had multiple house parties I was invited to. I was just very social in 2019. I was, like, heavy in, like, the BBW scene in Atlanta at the time. And
So here's the...
when it comes to, like, weed and stuff, for me, it's really easy to pick up and put down. Like, I haven't used it in a while. And, like, yeah, dealing with my pain has sucked, but I'm not sitting here like, oh man, I really, like, need it, you know? Like, it's not something that is a struggle for me, thankfully. My name is Rosie.
So this is May 2023 when she had just come out of the psych ward. But the story that she's telling is from 2020. Just keep note.
And I'm an addict who's 14 days sober from THC vape carts. I tried to quit on my own, and that exacerbated my sleep disorder that I've had for probably about 22 years, if I'm being really honest with myself. I tried to quit on my own after an intense amount of life stress, and it was just too much. From the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry to the people I scared.
So that was May 2023 after coming out of the psych ward, after her fight with Rain and Ivy. But this story she's telling is from 2020 in Atlanta.
I went through my wild phase in 2020.
Hello, Oliver's personal assistant. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Taylor. Hello, Jen. Who else did I miss coming in? Sorry, guys. I'm fairly, like, focused today, actually, weirdly. It's unusual for me. Eleanor, hi.
In 2019, to say the fucking least. And I decided to play it safe. I had a bad feeling about New Year's, ironically enough. And so I thought it would be safe if I went up to an hour.
For everybody coming in late, trigger warning. She's going to talk about, you know, being held medically. She's going to talk about abuse. She may talk about SA. Just a heads up, if that's not for you, if you think that might be triggering to you, this might not be the stream for you. Hey, kimono and coffee.
hour north of me to like the mountains in up near Fort Mountain was the location I went to, because there was a married couple that I was friends with. Something happened that night that I'm not going to get into in this video because that's not the point of it. But that event changed the entire trajectory of my life. It is single-handedly the most traumatic thing that I've experienced. It was the catalyst of the most traumatic period of time I've had as an adult. I was already diagnosed with PTSD for several years at that point. I was, prior to my ex and I breaking up the first time and me moving to Georgia, I was doing a lot of EMDR therapy and working on myself, and that all stopped when we moved to Georgia. And we kind of stopped therapy at that point in an inopportune time. And I was not in a good place. I really can't stress that enough already to begin with. And I could not figure out how to function on my own. I was just drowning in bills and life. And it was my first time
Drowning.
like really ever being alone, and I wasn't doing well with it. After that event, it happened at about 2:20 in the morning, January 1st, 2020. And when I finally got home, got out of the situation, that started a 72-hour mental breakdown that I barely remember. I was just trying to pretend that I was okay when I was clearly like unable to function. And I thought that if I just like pretended everything was fine and I just kept doing everything I was doing prior to that moment, that I would be okay. I was kind of freaking out about the situation, and I was calling people that I thought were my friends. Like I mentioned, I was a part of a party scene. And so when things get real, party friends don't stay. I had a best friend at the time who I thought was my best friend, who, when she was in a situation with a man that was very abusive and dangerous, I helped her get out of it. Most importantly, I believed her because this man had a position of power in this group of people. But when it came to my event, she was really weird about it for a day or two until the crux of the moment when all this story really starts, with the hospitalizations. I remember when she finally reached out to talk to me, I was at a restaurant with two of my ex-coworkers, my favorite restaurant. If anyone knew back then knew that I was obsessed with Iron Age. It was all you can eat Korean barbecue.
Why is this important?
Their food's incredible. If you ever get to go to an Iron Age, they're all across they're like in random parts of the country. It was my favorite restaurant for many years. I was sitting outside when she video chatted me, and she proceeded to tell me that I was overreacting about the event that had happened, that it was all misunderstanding, and that I just needed to talk to him like she was there. That was the moment I snapped. That was the moment that broke me. That was the moment that I remember. I was at the restaurant. I got food all over me because I was trying to eat and I was shaking so hard. And God bless those two people that were with me. The girl that was there with me, she really helped me try to get through it. And I walked out to my car. At some point, I had to leave. Like I couldn't be in public anymore, and I needed to go home. On my way to the restaurant, before that conversation happened with this person that I like immediately blocked. On my way there, I was driving, and there was this like merge lane where they were doing construction, and so like there was this like really big cement mall, and it was very like quick.
Hey JPDB, welcome. It says wall, not mall. Lol.
Merge lane in this one road that I had to take to get to the restaurant. And I remember for a very brief moment thinking to myself, like, I could just not turn the steering wheel, and like hitting the gas. And I, for the first time in my life, really seriously considered making a decision that was permanent. And then I like, obviously last second was like no, like that's not you talking, Rosie. You know what I mean? I was able to cope in that moment, but I was already at that point. And then
hi Kimmy, just a general trigger warning. She's talking about all sorts, unaliving, SA, abuse, all of it. Just trigger warning, everybody.
While we were eating, after I had blocked her and everything, I was trying to eat like I mentioned, and I mentioned the food on the shirt because that's an important detail later. But I received a text message at the table, which is one of the reasons why I had to go, and it was from this girl's boyfriend. That's a whole fucking story in its own.
This is, so she's talking about January 2020. This is what I'm gathering from how I've labeled it, the download. The story she's telling is set in January 2020, and she uploaded it February 2024.
But he told me that he was upset that I removed him from a group chat because he was dating this person. And obviously it was like my group chat, so I wasn't going to
So this has something to do with a fight in a group chat? Okay.
keep him in it when they were together and she's being a R-word apologist. It's not gonna happen. So he told me to end it quickly and quietly, it being my life. And that was when I snapped. Because at first it was like I broke, like in a brand new way that I didn't know I could break after, quite frankly, the worst 3 days of my life, where I just was dealing with some kind of trauma episode that I didn't know how to cope through. So I get to my car and I'm melting down in a way I've never melted down in my life. I know I talked to multiple people. I don't remember how many or who, except for my mom, because my mom was the last person I was on the phone with. And I believe she was living in Norway at the time. Norway or Florida. Probably Norway. The only part I remember was when I was
There is a lot more to this story. The parts that I do know from what she shared, you guys are free to go and have a look. She has an entire Instagram, what do you call it? Like when you have a collection of your stories that you keep in like a little folder thingy. She has an entire public folder with a bunch of stuff that happened around this incident. And like one of the biggest, highlights reel. Thanks, HRH. One of the biggest like issues that I think from memory that she had was like 9 out of the 11 people in the group chat left when she accused this person of this thing.
I was like belligerently screaming.
I don't know why the fucking group chat was like the key in this story. It's so strange to me.
I can't say other than like
I think there was some weird dynamics in this friend group, and I think they were going to a lot of swingers parties. I know that much.
I felt so out of control. I didn't know what to do, and I remember just screaming the word "why" over and over and over again about what had just happened. And then I paused. I remember like I was like going, I was just screaming that word over and over again, and then I stopped and I went, "Mom, I need to call 911." And she goes, "Okay, please do that." And so I'm not.
So you voluntarily called on yourself.
In my right mind. And I tell them that like I need help. I need help. Like I needed some kind of fast track care. I needed help.
Yeah. This was like at the height of her Instagram. She had like 80K. She had like as many as she has now.
And it's a really important detail to note.
She documented all of it and kept it up there. As far as I know, it's still there. I can double check.
Here that I didn't have insurance. They took me to my local ER at the time. They gave me some kind of sedative. When they came, like I was being symptomatic, but I wasn't screaming and belligerent at that point. I wasn't like acting out in any way. I just was like uncontrollably sobbing and extraordinarily symptomatic through my trauma responses of everything that was going on. And whatever they gave me, I still don't know. I'd have to like pull medical records. Made me incoherent.
Yep, it's still there. So, don't know what that says. I'm not saying that that nothing happened or anything like that, but yeah, it's just a strange way to deal with things, I guess. But everyone deals with things differently. Hey, Prez.
It made me even more out of it than any state I was in at that present moment. I remember like sleeping and coming in and out of consciousness. I remember a doctor walking into the room. I remember like a wavy, like kind of fuzzy visual. Like I remember my visual and hearing being impaired. I remember not being able to understand what the doctor was telling me, that he was explaining things to me. He was barely even looking at me. And he was holding a sheet of paper to me. In the moment, I didn't know what I was looking at. I couldn't understand it. I didn't know what I was signing. He explained it to me.
But that's the whole point, is when you're not in your right mind, you just have to sign yourself over voluntarily and say, yeah, okay, you look after me now.
And then
I don't know what it's called in Georgia, but it's almost like not a 5150, but you're like self-admitting, like, I'm a danger to myself. Take care of me. Hey, takes the cake.
I was trying to ask questions and I couldn't fully form sentences. And what he finally said that like made sense to me in that moment was, you have to sign this or the state won't cover your care. So I signed it, not understanding that I was signing an involuntary hold piece of paperwork and what that meant at that time.
No.
I believe it's called a 51.
A 1013. A 1013. So if you're signing over that it's an involuntary hold, that doesn't even make sense. When you sign it, you are volunteering. Hey, M-Flow. Hey, Just Deb. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so in wherever she is, it's called a 1013. I think she was in Georgia at the time.
5150 in Georgia.
5150 in
and again, I didn't
Georgia,
have insurance.
but a 1310 in Florida? I don't fucking know.
So I stayed in the ER for 2.5 days. So what's that? About 60 hours? For 2.5 days,
Kai.
I stayed in the ER.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. You don't sign anything if it's involuntary. When you're signing, you are waiving. You're saying, like, this is me volunteering myself into your care, right?
Had they kept me another 12 hours, they could have released me. They were...
Hey, civilian ask, wait, what did she say? 2.5 days, you stayed in the ER?
About 60 hours. For 2.5 days, I stayed in the ER. Had they kept me another 12 hours, they could have released me. They were struggling to find a place to send me to.
Because you're too big for a normal bed, genuinely. Hey, Hell's Ice. Hey, Chris. I told you. Told you I was gonna.
Because I didn't have insurance. This past year in 2023, for when I talked about going to the mental hospital, like I talked about that previously on my channel, I had a very different experience because I have good insurance now. But I, even then,
You're fine, civilian-esque. You don't need to lurk. You can chat with us. We won't bite. Clever nickname, girl. Hello. You voluntarily sign to become involuntary, and they will hold you for 72 hours until they deem you fit to go. Yeah, that makes sense.
then advocated for a hospital bed because I knew that they had cots in mental hospitals, and I was promised that I would be sent somewhere that had a hospital bed. The only place that would take me was Anchor. Now I know why. I had to take over an hour-long ambulance ride to this facility, and I just remember being really bored. I wasn't being in the ER in the psych ward for 2.5 days is
being bored when you're crashing the fuck out. Okay.
A lot. I colored a lot. And the staff was a lot nicer there, but I did not realize what had transpired prior. I didn't fully understand how
that
this was
kid
going to play
cool
out until I got to Anchor. And what inspired this video at all was I repackaged all my like childhood stuff, and I guess in the midst of me like sorting things, I have very few things left from everything.
Hey, bossy, welcome in.
That happened after the span of the story, because this all started on like January 3rd or 4th. I'd have to pull up the exact dates or whatever.
I think they took her to the ER because they didn't have a place to put her. They didn't know where to put her. And I think at Anchor, they had a geriatric ward where they had beds suitable for Rosie.
And then it went on for a total of 5.5 days. But I found something that I kept initially for evidence purposes, because for a couple of years I was really obsessed with the concept of suing people and getting justice because of how unjust everything that I experienced was. But this was from the intake of Anchor. This is like this is truly the lowest moment in my life. Because I only had one pair of dirty clothes and no one bring me
Hey, H2O Rat.
clean clothes. And for transport, I only had the hospital gown that didn't fit. And that was all I had on.
Oh, it's giving
So
J-Bay.
for the ambulance ride, they gave me an orange blanket so my butt wasn't exposed. This is...
They had to take it back. I couldn't keep it, and Anchor had such small blankets, I could not cover myself well. Why would you keep this? Why would you keep this? Hey, Pop Tart. Hey, Zalfruit. Sorry for everyone I missed.
Me. This was a stuffed animal. I don't know if you can see it right there. I've got two of them. There's a story to that too, but at the time I only had one. And I named her Jade. She was a little squishmallow that the person that I share this tattoo with brought me. And I think this is the most demoralizing, horrific thing on the planet because...
Yeah, who took the picture? Actually, this little thingy is familiar to me. Hold on.
Question: does the For You page ever end? Or like...
So this
I have a genuine...
was in 2020. February.
Question: does the For You page ever end? Or like, are we just stuck in this eternal... I've been...
Anyway.
This is what they put on all the files, on all your belongings, everything about you. So they have a picture reference of you. The other mental hospital that I went to doesn't do this. This is disgusting.
Why? And why did you keep it?
This is...
I don't know what that says up here.
This makes me angry. This is when I was lied to, and this is what I was lied to, and that they didn't have any hospital beds in this facility. I still have wrist issues because of how I had to sleep. They did not transfer my medication over from the ER, so this night, the night they took this picture, I experienced medication-induced psychosis for the first time, and unfortunately not the last, because all this journey that I went through this past year regarding medication and being so hypersensitive.
Was the date January 8th. Hey, everybody coming in. Thank you, Chris, for helping.
To it and having issues with mental health meds wasn't a problem for me.
She had medication-induced psychosis. Okie dokie, just taking note. Seashell Cindy, welcome. Indeed. Hey, Shruti. Hey, Pause, welcome in. Hey, Your Sock. Hi, guys. Hi.
Before this place. They denied me water for the first 14 hours I was there. I was promised up front at the gate by the girl who took this picture of me that they would give me extra pillows. And again, I was not in my right frame.
Hi, Celestial. So they promised when she checked in that she would get extra pillows. Okay.
Frame of mind. For rules reasons, they tried to take Jade, the stuffed animal, away from me, even though they hadn't given me any of the anxiety meds I had been on for previous days. Right. So I didn't have medication to cope, but I don't know what it was about Jade over there. She was a trooper, and also I could use her as a pillow. So she kind of helped me out the first night or so.
Pillows. Hey, Flutterby, welcome. She kept it for proof. She enjoys or gets off on being a victim. I don't get how people like to talk about and show anyone who will listen about all they've been through. These people are exhausted.
I had her. But they tried to take her from me, and me and my fat ass literally like crouched in a corner of the hallway. And I didn't know at the time that there was rooms. And
I feel like in most places you're lucky just to be taken in and you're lucky just to get any kind of bed. Asking for extra pillows and shit in this rundown fucking hospital. Okay.
people were sleeping. I didn't know that. Just screaming, telling them like they couldn't take it. So they let me keep it because it was like, I don't know, probably 10, 11, 12 at night at that point. Because they did a nighttime intake with me.
Welcome, Jack. Good to see you.
Transfer and intake. And the nurse, whoever, the tech or whatever, that was in my room right afterwards, when I asked for the extra pillow, she laughed in my face and said, "You're lucky you have one," and closed the door in my face.
I mean, kinda. It's a fucking psych ward. Hey, Ayla. Yeah, if you're deemed a risk to yourself. Well, she called an ambulance on herself. She called 911 on herself. So they said, you're going to sign this over. You're going to sign your name here to say that we're now in charge of looking after you, basically, is what I'm gathering.
All the toiletries that we were given in a tub. And they had a rule that if you didn't put everything back in your tub once you were done with your showers, they would confiscate everything. And I have ADHD pretty severely. And so my second or third day,
Hi, Gummy Bears. Hi, HGM. Welcome, everyone coming in. This says, I believe it was my first or second day. I remember having to shower multiple times that way. Hey, Linda, listen. Welcome. Yeah, so she called it on herself, and then she signed over the 5150 saying, okay.
I forgot. And the rest of my time there, I had to shower with the hand soap dispenser in the bathroom.
They took away my soap, shampoo, comb, toothbrush, all of it, when only some of it had been forgotten due to a diagnosis I have. Are you saying that you packed your own soap, shampoo, comb, toothbrush to go to the psych ward? And what diagnosis? Whatever.
In my room. Somehow I got lucky and I ended up not having a roommate the entire time I was there. I don't know how that happened. It was by the grace of some higher being. And they refused to wash my clothes that night.
You don't even have to sign the 5150 if the mental health professional says you're not competent to take care of yourself. They can sign the paperwork. Well, she said that she signed something. She said that basically she was signing away her rights.
They didn't have a good reason. It was like the night staff just didn't want to clean them. And all I had was a nightgown with my butt exposed that I had been in for 3 days already, and a pair of dirty clothes that had food encrusted on them that was 3 days old.
Right, Freya? Worried about her dirty clothes and like her comb when she's literally having a mental breakdown? I don't get it.
When I had gotten food on myself at the restaurant. So they didn't wash it until start washing it till like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I was stuck in my room, and
hey, Bella.
I was wrapped in blankets. I had 2 blankets I had to be wrapped up in, and I was naked when the psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever, came in to interview me, a male doctor.
I'm going to keep her playing, guys, but I just need to find my dog. It's too quiet now. I kicked her out of my room, and now it's too quiet. I need to check what she's up to.
Again, this is 5 days after one of the worst moments of my life that happened. And I remember he was asking me questions like what Earth is, like just basically trying to make sure I was mentally competent again. There was just a theme with all the professionals at this place that they just don't make eye contact with people. And then when they told me they were going to bring me my breakfast or whatever to my room, because again, I was naked. I just was like, I don't care about the food. Please just bring me water. And it was.
I'm back. Yeah, they probably do. It's funny because in the next psych ward, well, in a recent psych ward visit, they had nothing for her to wear, and so they had to keep washing her same dress or something.
was kind of like a thing at that point in my life. I hadn't gotten to try grits yet, and I really wanted to try grits, but like I really wanted them to be good grits.
Excuse me. Hold the fuck on. Oh man, it's different every time you listen to it. Okay, let's hear that again.
When they told me they were going to bring me my breakfast or whatever to my room, because again, I was naked. I just was like, I don't care about the food. Please just bring me water. And it was kind of like a thing at that point in my life. I hadn't gotten to try grits yet, and I really wanted to try grits, but like I really wanted them to be good grits. And I was very hungry. It had been a very long time since I'd eaten, and a very long time since I had water. So I was
It's probably been like 2 hours, let's be real.
I just remember like,
you know, yesterday she was saying, I'm like limiting myself to only like eating every like 2 to 3 hours. So for her, that's a long time.
I just didn't care about eating because I was so thirsty. And they come back with my breakfast tray and they put 2 fruit punches on it, but there was no fucking water. They still didn't bring me water. So I just was just so frustrated.
You're probably just supposed to fill up your drink at the tap. I don't know.
And I just remember I sighed and I chugged the fruit punch because I just needed something to drink. And I got down those disgusting grits. They were the most gluey, nasty, shitty grits. And
kind of like the shit you made yesterday.
a few months after this event, I got to go to Kentucky to see a friend of mine who I knew at the time.
No, this story she's telling is from 2020. But she's been at least 3 more times since then, if not 4. I think between Chris and I, we worked out there was 5 in total. So there was 2 in 2023, and it was after the second one in 2023 that she was in the pool, or maybe that was 2023, and then in 2024 she went again.
And remember he took me to this like really cool restaurant.
And I have them all. I have all of those videos downloaded.
They had like grits and catfish, and I got to try actually good grits for the first time. But I still.
What the fuck? Hey, Arcs and Cycles. What the fuck? Why?
And who I knew at the time, and remember he took me to this like really cool restaurant, and they had like grits and catfish, and I got to try actually good grits for the first time. But I still can't do them. Not after that. That's when once the laundry got done and.
Grits trauma? Are we adding it to the list? Hey, Minka.
I went out and I remember I just like chugged a bunch of water, and I would not let go of that stuffed animal. I think it was the second day. There was a therapist of sorts that manipulated me into leaving the stuffed animal in my room, and they told me that I would be able to come back and that it would be there, but that I would eventually have to give it back to them. And I was lied to again, and when I came back, it was gone. So I had a meltdown. And then that first day, like I tried to participate. They made Alcoholics Anonymous mandatory, even though that wasn't the thing I needed. And I was really frustrated by that because there's like a really religious component to Alcoholics Anonymous or OA, things like that I just don't fucking jive with. And the important highlight of the first day was that they had you fill out a worksheet. And there was an option to like check to speak to someone privately, like for therapy. And I did that because I really just needed to fucking talk to someone. And
hello, I miss Rachel most, and hello to you, VWT, and hi, Yami.
I never got pulled aside, and the next day I did the same thing in the check-in, and I walked up to the behavioral health person, therapist, counselor, whatever, and she was sitting at her desk with her binder open, the sheets of fucking faces and stickers and writing her bullshit. And I asked her about the sheet, and I asked her like when I could talk to someone, and without looking up from her fucking binder, she just goes, "We don't do that here."
Hi,
and I went, "I'm sorry, what?" Because that did not register as like an option at a mental health hospital, that they don't do therapy there. That just doesn't. What does that mean?
It's an emergency holding psych facility. They don't want to keep you, Rosie. They wanted to have you for 72 hours, most likely.
I don't know what that means. And she repeated herself. She just goes,
You're probably supposed to go from this place. They get you sorted out with meds, and then you figure out therapy and stuff after that. Right? Yeah, stabilization, keeping you alive. Yay.
we don't do that here. And I remember I was like standing at the main desk area. There was like a center area, and there was like basically 2 hallways. I think there was like the doctor's office is this way, and then behind me from where I was standing in that moment was like the sunroom, the main room, where like the water was, and like where the group meetings were or whatever.
She's acting like it's a yoga retreat.
And I remember like time froze for a second. And that was the moment that I realized like I was hostage. Like that was the moment that I realized I had fucked up by asking for help. That was the moment when I realized that I wasn't safe. And there's a lot of like side things that happened. Like there was a moment with some of the male people, because the male people that were there that were very aggressive and scary. Like they were just very clearly deranged individuals. Like there was just a few of them in the group. There was like really old patients who had like dementia.
She needs to get her head out of her ass and get treatment for her victim complex / histrionic personality disorder, or whatever she actually has. She's wasting space in these psych wards. Yep, 5 times. Every time something doesn't go her way, it's a visit to the psych ward.
Severe mental health issues going on. One of them was horribly mean all the time. And the other one was really sweet during the day, but she was a sundowner, I think is what it's called. I don't remember the exact term, but she didn't live in my hallway, so I never witnessed it. But during the day, she was sweet as pie and really lovely to be around, actually. And then there was a few people there that were like me, who were just trying to get help and got stuck there, not knowing the system, not knowing how to get out. And
this says, I forgot to mention, some people who had private insurances were being kept needlessly against their will for weeks because they had private insurance and were being billed for it. If I remember right, this was reflected in the Google reviews too, which I never saw yours. You posted it on like Facebook or somewhere, but I didn't see yours on the actual hospital.
And there was also this girl there. She was young.
I do believe the hospital is a disgusting place. Like I have read the reviews. It sounds terrible, but I mean, it's a place where they're holding you in an emergency situation. You're not there for fun, shits and giggles, to have a picnic. You're there to literally just be kept alive until you figure your shit out. Let me read. She wasn't safe because she couldn't do one-on-one therapy in an emergency setting, right? I don't understand victim complex for attention. In addition to her narcissistic traits, it makes her insufferable. Hey, Corvid. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Exactly. How does she know? She didn't even have a roommate to talk to about this stuff. I don't know where her parents were. Probably around. I'm pretty sure. Was this the time where they did blood work on her? And no, it was a different time. Yeah, exactly.
She was like between 18 to 20. She had just found out she was pregnant and had a real serious like problem with meth and wanted to get clean. So she came to get help because she wanted to get clean.
And of course, that is who you sidled up with. What? What am I glossing over? I'm listening. What did you say? Say it again. About the chair? Oh, yeah, she's using other people's stories again, for sure. And hey, sugar honey. The dry grits, I know, but I've been over this before, and other people have been over this before. I know the fact she complained about the dry grits. She complained about not having enough pillows or blankets. She complained about them not having like hospital gowns that fit her. She treated it like an absolute resort. That's just my like general sort of overview, is that she wanted to be treated like she was in a hotel room, and simple as that. She was being fussy, and they probably were sick of her shit. you know. She wanted the grits and she didn't like the grits. Yeah, she does need to stop telling other people's stories, and it's always these 18, 19-year-old little girls that she goes after. She's weird. Fucking weird with this shit. I hate when she tells other people's stories every single time. And she's done this 5 times and has not improved. It's just like the way that she does therapy for 13 fucking years and, you know, hasn't really taken anything away from it. You'd think after 5 times in the psych ward, something might change. But no. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I actually haven't been over this on my channel. Been over it before, but not on my channel, I don't think. And I know that a lot of you guys are new to Rosie and you're not necessarily going back and watching all the old stuff. So, and this is deleted now. So I figured I would show this to you guys because it's something that I have. I also have like all of her, like since she's been on YouTube, I have her like psych ward in and out. Like there was one where she had planned it and she was like, I want my mum to stop on the way and buy me some texters, some markers so that I can do drawing inside there and stuff. Like, Lord.
For her baby.
Actually, I might have to start a new playlist for this one. Psych ward. How about that? Yes, Bella. Do you really think our girl dropped 100 pounds overnight? It is. Hey, Linda. It is a retro. This is a story about her medical kidnapping in 2020. She uploaded it in February 2024. So she was retelling. It was a story time.
And they would never like honor her food aversions, because that was the moment where I went into pure fight or flight for the rest of my time there. And I knew that I just had to smile and nod, play the game, and get the fuck out of there the minute 72 hours happened.
Thanks, Chris. I think she pretty, like, we all know that there's a lot of, like always with Rosie, it's 10% truth, 90% lies. This one I do know the hospital is pretty bad, but the fact that she can remember, like, the details about the food and all of that, I'm not getting medically induced psychosis from like, ew, dry grits. Ew, I need a pillow. Hey, Rox. Good to see you.
I was like, before that moment, I was trying to be vulnerable. I was trying to like be honest and heal and be expressive about my needs. At that point, I was like, they don't give a fuck about what I need. They don't care.
I was going to say, this is the Wendy's, ma'am, but it's not even a Wendy's. They're just trying to give you enough food and drink and medicine to keep you stable until you figure something else out.
They're here to collect a check through the government in my name. I don't think that's how I phrased it in my head in that moment, but that's what happened. And so,
yeah,
I spent a lot of time trying to help other people.
Definitely.
Because it was how I was coping. Because I'm not new to mental health. Like I know a lot about this.
Girl, you should not be offering assistance to anyone in a crisis. You need to stop doing that. It's the same as what she did with the homeless youth that we looked at the other day. Coping with a bad situation. That was also she also met that young girl in the psych ward, by the way, the homeless youths. 18-year-old girl. Again, why does she gravitate towards these people? I don't fucking know. Because they're vulnerable and she feels powerful around them. Like, I know everything, you know nothing. And I'm getting that again here. She's saying like, my default is to like save everyone else. It's weird, Rosie. If you're in a mental health crisis, don't be trying to help other people in crisis. Please. It's not the first time or the last time. You did it a bunch of times after this. So this was in 2020. She was already trying to be the hero and the victim.
The systems at play. I know a lot about,
Jeez.
You know, how to advocate for yourself, like what you're right.
Hi, sofa on the roof. Welcome in. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for all being here on your weekend.
Sorry, like things like that. And a lot of these people have never had a day of therapy in their life. Like they don't really understand the system. They didn't have the kind of support that I had growing up, things like that. And so I did my best to just try to help people. Because there were times where, like I mentioned, there were some elderly patients there. And some of them couldn't feed themselves. And depending on who was staffed that day, sometimes they would help feed them, and other times the nurses were too busy looking at the nails and filing them. Not joking.
Bullshit. Also, like, it doesn't really sound like a prison cell. If you're just free to roam around and help people and go and do this and that, like, it doesn't sound like you were strapped down, you know?
Like actually doing that, to do anything other than look at their nails. And so, I mean, there was a day where
But the savior complex, whilst also trying to be a victim, is very rosy.
I literally cut up the sundowner. I'm not gonna try to not use names, but the sundowner lady.
Yes, Strella. Exactly. And she, after this is what sparked this story in 2020 is what sparked the writing of the book. How to Be Your Own Advocate, or some shit like that was the title. Insanity. If you guys go back to some of my old streams where we were looking at what's the playlist called? It's called Pre-YouTube Rosie or something like that. A lot of this stuff is in there.
I like cut up her food and help fed her because you know, some days my food aversions wouldn't let me eat that food. It was so disgusting. There was one day I had 9 rolls for lunch and that was it because a bunch of people gave me the rolls because nothing else I could eat.
Jesus, 9 rolls. And why are you remembering so much about the food if you're in medicine-induced psychosis? Please.
I could eat on the plate because it was so gross. So I just, and they were not very big rolls.
It wasn't published, but it, in my mind, this is when she started writing down her script, and like after her third trip to the psych ward in 2023, right before she started on YouTube, it was after that fight with Rain and Ivy, was when she really was into this writing the book thing. And this is when she started putting it all on paper. And this is the story that she was selling around to these trash magazines and podcasts and all of that. So she's memorized this story because she's written it down and fleshed it out. No, it's not a book. She wrote down like her experiences, allegedly. 9 rolls. I know. Gummy bears, did I say hi to you? Hello. Hi, everyone.
Either. I don't even know. Was it 9? I don't know. It was like a large number of rolls. Like I just ate a bunch of bread just to try to.
Yeah. So she's retelling the story. Who asked? Sugar Honey. She's retelling the story that happened to her in 2020. Hey, Just a Loser.
Feel full.
Rendell.
Because you know, you didn't get snacks except once at snack time. So again, it was like, this was such a different experience than when I went to like an actual facility. I mean, I wouldn't even send someone I hated to Anchor. Like, I don't know how they're open. I don't.
Thank you, Kimmy. I missed Catterday coffee this morning, obviously. And now my time change, guys, and it's even worse now. So I'm going to be missing heaps.
I don't know how they're a business. I don't understand how they're still like doing the shit that I saw to people because I haven't even gotten to the worst.
Hey, Emma. Oh, hello. Good to see you. Enjoy your vacation.
Of the stuff yet. There was another older man. He was a handicapped man. He was in a wheelchair. He had like actual medical needs, and this was more near the end of the 3 days. He
Hi, Azazel.
was in a wheelchair and had a lot of pain issues, a lot of problems, and he kept trying to get seen by the doctor, and they just wouldn't see him. And I literally, how I coped with this whole fucking experience was, back at that moment that I mentioned at the front desk with that bitch ass.
Hey, Azazel, and hey, Cosmic Cotton Candy. 9 is a very specific number to remember in the midst of psychosis, right? Wild.
Like behavioral health person. I started treating this entire experience like an episode of Criminal Minds. That's how I coped. Like,
oh my God.
I was just like, who can I trust and who can't I trust? And there was like a couple specific people that I could tell like actually cared and saw us as human beings, and other people who just saw us as like subhuman. I've never been to prison, but I think that was prison. I think that experience that I had was prison disguised as mental health care. I think some prisons are nicer than that place. This is so dehumanizing to me. I'm never gonna get over this. But yeah. So I gotta look.
Hey, lady problems. Is it possible that the psych hospital perhaps did not have a cardiologist or physical therapist or whoever to help? Maybe. And it's an emergency facility from what I'm gathering. Like these are people who are they're just trying to not allow them to harm themselves at this point, basically, or others. Hey, Poop Dynasty. What was on the pictures? It was just her like wrapped in a blanket waiting in the waiting room, I think.
I got a little sidetracked, but basically I was able to kind of like profile who I could talk to, how to talk to them, what I could do to I would like pick and choose my battles. Like when the pregnant girl needed to eat and she was someone I kind of befriended, and breakfast was making her so nauseous she couldn't eat it, and the cooks would not listen to any of the patients, would not give them any kind of food, would not do anything extra beyond like what was allotted. So this specific day there was one of the good nurses there, so I went up to her and I just like very quietly, softly explained it, because I was like, if I do this on her behalf, maybe they'll listen. And I was right, and I was able to get her extra cereal so she could at least.
CCQ says, I had a diabetic ulcer on my foot and the nurse handed me 2 Band-Aids, never looked at my foot. They are psych nurses. Facts. And hey, Peach of Pluto, welcome. Just a thought, maybe they take pictures because of people having a mental health episode, can't remember their name, their photos would help in those. Yeah, could be. Could be. You're doing the damn thing, Papa Gupper. You're doing the damn thing. And that's the thing. I think when you're somebody like Rosie and you don't actually have any responsibilities in your life, like, I don't have time for a mental breakdown. I literally don't have time for it. And good on you, Papa Gupper, for keeping on going. Hey, Cheesy Poofs. It's not a wellness retreat. Yeah, exactly. It's not a fucking spa or a yoga retreat. The goal with the place is to get your meds in order and then get the F out. What mental health people really need is whole foods, water, and physical activity to get in body. Yeah.
At least like eat some dry cereal. And then the same thing with him, the guy in the wheelchair, and getting the doctor, finding the nurses that cared and just being like, hey, it's been like 2 days of him saying this, and this, like symptom, these issues, and he's still not talked to the doctor. Like, you really need to get him to the doctor. Like,
hey, Empress, and Clever Nickname Girl says they do take photos, but that's not what that is. I think that's a photo that she had her mom or somebody else take because they would not have released the photo from the medical records. Actually, I do remember seeing in those Instagram reels, I think like her aunt or her cousin came and they took pictures with her or something like that from my memory. I think she had visitors, and I think that you might be right. I'm just going off my memory. I'm not going to show those Instagram highlights reels thingy to you guys because it's not really appropriate for this channel. Azria showed it once, but otherwise you could just check it out on her Instagram yourself. I'm pretty sure that the story changes all the time. Like it's like something to do with her aunt and her cousin coming to visit her. They took a photo together and it was a similar quality kind of photo. I'll see if I can find it. Just that. Maybe not. I don't really want to show her innocent family members' pictures. So yeah, maybe not. You guys can go look for yourself. Even though she's got it up there, I don't know if I want to do that.
Like, he needs to get to a fucking doctor. And the staff was just really atrocious. At the time I didn't have anything to compare it to. Now, having gone to a really good mental health facility where like we could get snacks at any time of night. They had like pre-made sandwiches for us. Like,
it's all about the food. They were starving her, and that's why she was mad. That's how it's coming off. I've been to another mental health hospital since then, and I could get snacks any time of day or night. The fuck?
You could get water anytime you asked for it. Like, all the staff was like trauma informed, trained. Like, I mean, just eons of a different experience. It blows my fucking mind that place even exists. Especially when I tell you, like the story. Like there was a moment that like really encapsulated the worst of the abuse, and this is like honestly trigger warning. I mentioned earlier there was a really mean lady, and like I don't necessarily think it's her fault. Like she clearly had pretty severe dementia and some kind of significant mental illness stuff going on. And she would just like repeat the same things over and over again. Frankly, I'm really glad I don't remember what those words are, because for weeks after the event, I could hear her voice in my head over and over again, because she would say these same things over and over again. She had a very shrill voice, and again, she was really mean. She did not like me specifically. Every time she looked at me with so much hate in her eyes. I honestly think it was because I was fat. Like not even trying to make it about that, but she just like she wasn't particularly super nice to any.
Chris says she called 911. That means she was deemed an emergency case, so she went to a public funded emergency clinic. Okay, fact. Hey, Deb's watching. Welcome.
But she especially was mean towards like certain people, I think for her own reasons, and I was one of them. And so I just tried to like steer clear of her, because like, you know, I don't need that. I've got enough going on. And I forgot to mention the time that they had they tried to use a 6'8" security guard that was bigger than me. I swear to God, that man had to weigh at least 600 to 700 pounds, because I was over 500 pounds at that time and 5'6", and he was the largest human being I've ever been around in my life. And he was the security at this place. And he was bigger than me, like width-wise. And literally 6'5" to 6'8", like biggest man I've ever seen. My throat just got. That was crazy. Anyway.
Girl.
Yeah, biggest man I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's come from a real big bitch, right? Anyway, got a joke sometimes. But the one of the staff members that really cared, who ran a lot of the group sessions, that wasn't the other one that I mentioned with the binder story. That person saw what was happening, knew my trauma, knew that, frankly, the security guard matched a good amount of the physical description of the person that traumatized me to begin with. And they like circumvented, so like I didn't actually interact with the security guard, but I remember someone was like, hey, yo, they're coming for you. And I look up and I see the guard all the way down the hallway walking towards me, and I'm like flabbergasted. And thankfully there was a staff member that cared enough to intercept, because I don't know what I would have done in that moment, because I was so just out of my mind, man. I was just not me. I was not me. And anyway, I'm gonna go back to the other story, because I want to say this was like the second night.
Sorry guys, I'm just pre-reading something before I show it to you guys, just to make sure it's not like too bad. I mean, I could maybe. It's fucking long. Maybe I'll just post them like on my community or something like that, because yeah.
That I was there, that this happened. I was trying to sleep, and I had to sleep on like a flat surface. I had one small flat pillow, so the only way I could breathe and sleep was sleeping on my stomach. I don't know if you heard that, but
so do you have sleep apnea? Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like every time I listen to something, I get more details. And also like as she displays certain behaviors and stuff, like different things become more relevant that may have not been that noticeable in the beginning. So it's always worth a rewatch of a lot of this stuff. Running away from issues. Surprised they didn't hook up. Oh my God. The hand pain origin story. Yep, indeed. The stolen hand pain. Yeah, I know. Okay.
I don't even want to do the position because it hurts. With my hands like this on my chin.
And yet you sit and you stream and you posting Instagram stories just like this to this day. Hey, Carly. Hey, Zero Regrets. Welcome, guys.
And sleeping on my elbows. It's the only way I can sleep. And that, my friends, is medical malpractice meets fat phobia.
Really?
That should be super.
Is that medical malpractice that she had to sleep propped up and they didn't have spare pillows for her? Is that medical malpractice? They probably have to limit the amount of things they give you because they're afraid that you are going to harm yourself somehow. Hey, Fife Fo Fum, welcome in. Yeah, take them to court. I think she threatened it, maybe.
Super illegal. This wrist is still fucked up. It's like my hands are always going to be fucked up from sleeping like that for so many days in a row when I could sleep, and I still have permanent side damage from it as well.
Side damage?
But
side damage? Are you a car? Got some side panel damage.
I still have permanent side damage from it as well. It's intermittent, but yeah.
What do you mean?
Anyway, I woke up.
Got some side damage. Yeah, like a ship, like that's hit a rock or something. Side damage, yeah, like a van. Side damage, like where? Which bone? Tell me. Oh my god. Oh, she's giving me a bloody headache.
At some point, and I was hearing a commotion. So in the room next to me, there was her and another woman who that's its own story too. I'm leaving out a lot. There's like a lot.
She's just a fucking hospital gossip, isn't she? Every time she goes to the fucking psych ward, of all the 5 times, she's just gossiping about everybody else. It doesn't sound like the worst time ever, Rosie. You're just like in there, like chilling, hearing stories, playing Criminal Minds.
A lot of stuff that happened. Like it was one of the most insane experiences of my life. But I heard an interaction.
Hey, Ozzy. Welcome in. Yes, it's my Easter Sunday. After this, I'm going to go and see my family. Hey, Big Scoops. Right? Oh, she'd be fuming if anybody else told her. I heard this big bitch complaining about the food and the bed and the pillows when I was in the middle of having a fucking mental breakdown.
With her and staff, and they were like, this was 4 years ago, and I know I documented it, and frankly I'm like scared to read it because I'm scared if I read what I wrote and everything she said, like the flashbacks will come back. I kind of like that I don't fully remember it as much as I used to, as much as it used to loop in my head. But she was like saying some of her things that she would repeat a lot, and then I heard them hit her in some capacity, whether it was like slapping or punching. Like I heard physical violence, and then I heard her say, "Don't hit me."
Yeah, right.
Talking about, like,
why didn't you bust in there?
I heard them hurting her, and then I heard them laugh about it.
Hey, Lisa. So why didn't you bust in there, Rosie? Why didn't you go and save the day? Unbelievable. I would have been fuming if I heard that. Hey, Star Glowing. Yeah. Dude. I'm like, chicken fried rice? Yeah, you don't know what happened. Why don't you go and check? Ew. True. Oops.
It was like 2:00 in the morning, and my mom was in Norway. Yeah, she was in Norway.
So the parents were in Norway.
Because I left my room, and the girl, I had a nickname for her. I don't remember exactly what it was, and I don't want to fully quote it because it was a little offensive. I really didn't like her because she was really mean to me in the beginning. But she was obsessed with her Bible. Ultimately, I ended up kind of realizing how much it was a coping thing for her. But she, I walked out, and she was just like obsessively like reading her Bible and rocking back and forth. And
what does a pinch sound like, guys? Pink.
This was the girl's roommate. So she had like fled the room while this was all going down. And there was someone at the front desk, And I was just like, and I was in the room right next to the altercation, and I had to get out because like it wasn't stopping. And I was able to manipulate the front desk lady into letting me use the phone. I think she had to like turn it on for me, if I remember right. But I was able to explain to
Right?
her,
Like, what does she want? Best buddies when people are literally losing their minds?
like, my mom lives in Norway. Like, I promise you, it's a normal time there. Like, I'm not just randomly calling someone in the States. She's got like, it was like a Magic Jack phone number or something. And so I remember like I called my mom, and I was like, I told her what
Nikki
happened.
McGee.
My mom was really trying to help me, like do everything I could just to get out of there, because, you know.
So you had phone access. If you're really being kidnapped, call the police.
Being assaulted is a horrible experience. It is truly.
Her dad has a job over there, and the mum wanted to be with the dad, so the mum ended up moving over there too. Hey, Ken Vida. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Hey, Knuckles. I'm gonna grab my meds, guys. Back in 2 seconds.
Really a very horrific form of trauma. But I can confidently say that my experience at that facility in those 3 days was far worse than the initial trauma that took place. And I was further traumatized to the point that led to pretty much everything else that kind of stumbled down from the first couple weeks of 2020 into, near the end of 2022 when I landed, or sorry, 2021 when I, what's my time? 2022. Yes, I got to Florida in 2022. I moved to Omaha at the end of 2021. I'm bad at timelines. I can't believe it's been 4 years. That's so crazy.
Sorry, I have to go back.
End of 2022 when I landed, or sorry, 2021 when I, what's my time?
Moved to Omaha at the end of 2020. Moved to Florida at the end of 2021. The real healing started at the beginning of 2022, is what that says.
2022. Yes, I got to Florida in 2022. I moved to Omaha at the end of 2021. I'm bad at timelines. I can't believe it's been 4 years. That's so crazy to me to realize that. There's so much that happened afterwards, and there was so many points of support for me throughout my experience once I was able to get out, and
Yeah, you were just about to go in February 2024. You were just about to go on your 5th psych ward bees.
I really was lucky in a lot of ways, because the craziest part is things could have ended a lot worse for me, and I'm really glad that they didn't. But this story, my story like that, is not only is it not the only one, it's not the worst one of what the damage is for people in America who don't have insurance, who don't have good care, who need support, need resources, need help. And when they ask for help, that's what they get. More trauma. And I told myself for so many years I would never go to a mental hospital. And I'm so glad that last year I was able to humble myself enough, that I was able to love myself enough to know that there was an opportunity for me to get care that I really needed, and that I could get it. And that just because this one place didn't do what they needed to do, and just because I was coerced into signing something when I was legally not in the place to be able to consent to any fucking thing, even though I had my rights stripped from me, my consent revoked from me, that there was a way for me to navigate the system where I was in full.
Okay, so this is the part that really gets to me. Where she talks about consent. She literally signed over consent. She signed the consent form, right? She's saying that she wasn't in her right mind. She was in medically induced psychosis. So because of that, she wasn't able to consent. But the same person who is in medically induced psychosis was able to remember the 9 rolls they had, how dry the grits were, how many fruit punch cups you were given, the story of what was going on with the girl next door, the story of the pregnant woman. You were in a position where you were able to complain about the pillows and the blankets and the clothes. You remember every fucking detail, and you were in, I don't know that much about medically induced psychosis, but is that how it works?
just because this one place didn't
Coerced.
do what they needed to do, and just because I was coerced into signing something when I was legally not in the place to be able to consent to any fucking thing.
Exactly, Glam.
Even though I had my rights stripped from me, my consent revoked from me, that there was a way for me to navigate the system where I was in full control, that I could leave at any moment, that I had the opportunity.
Hey, Gummy Bear XY. Hey, Socky Sock Girl. Welcome, guys.
To get care that was paid for through my insurance voluntarily. That there wasn't some clause that made me have to submit to the system.
What did you think?
That's a summarization of my story. There's a lot more to it, but I feel relieved. I feel like for the first time I've been able to get through this story coherently as much as I can with my ADHD level storytelling skills. But
Hey, Black Moon Lilith, you Googled it, and did it come up with some amazing results? Shall I Google it? Medical kidnapping refers to a situation where a patient, most commonly a child, is removed from the custody of their parents or family by state authorities, such as Child Protective Services, due to allegations of medical neglect, abuse, or differing opinions on medical treatment between the family and the hospital staff. That did not happen to you, Rosie.
that I'm not a mess. I deserved better. We, as a collective, deserve better. We need more funding into resources for healthcare for all, but even still, just
She wasn't strapped down and friggin' forcibly injected with sedatives. She signed a form saying, yeah, you can hold me.
better than that. I'm never gonna throw these away. This is truly the lowest moment of my life. This entire scenario, when I think back on it, I did not want this photo taken. Anchor took down my review. I left a review on Google. It got it removed. I'd love one day to hit a level of success where I could make real systemic change. I don't know if that's going to be my lot in this life, but I really wish I could for her. I really wish I could for her.
Hey, Candy Kitten. Hey, Effie. Hey, Chris, do you think I should read the Facebook post? Because I'm pretty sure that that's what she was just reading off. I just want to I'll censor it in bits, but I actually just can't believe she says all this public on her thing. Read it? Okay. If you say so, if you say it's okay, I will. I'm gonna read it, guys, because I'm gonna omit names and stuff like that if there is any, because I think she might name people in this, and I just don't want to do that here. So I will read it, but I won't. I'll omit names and stuff.
Oh man, that's emotional as fuck.
Hey, Bunny Melon.
The fact I only cried this much is a testament to how much I've healed. Shit, I was like, I'd love to get through this without crying, but I knew that just wasn't gonna happen. One day, when I kind of want to go through this, I found this cute
Grace
organizer, and it's got a bunch of childhood photos and childhood memorabilia. Really important keepsake stuff. This is pretty much all of my life that I have left from everything post 2022 or pre 2022.
Pre 2021.
Everything.
I hate this font. Pre 2021. I'm really bad at recalling timelines due to my concussions and memory loss issues I've developed. That's what that says there. Oh dear. So raw, you guys. Fuck. Yeah. Being an opinionated female, yeah, you get bloody locked up for that. They give you a back in the day, what do they do if you're acting a fool like that? If you're doing anything, they where they take out a part of your brain. What's it called again? Yeah. Yeah, right. Inspirational story about advocating for yourself, being your own self-advocate. Lobotomy, thank you. Thanks, guys. You guys are so smart. My brain don't work. It's obviously medicine time. I just took it.
Or pre-2022.
Imagine how I'm
I
going to
lost
read.
like everything that I owned, except for these, my angels, the jade squishmallow, which is only from, 2020. But like all my childhood stuff, like all my all the moving between like the camper and all that, I can fit it into this. That's sad. I won't lie, that's sad. But this survived. I survived. And I am proud of that. So I'm gonna go because I probably have to go cry a little more. But I survived. I survived hell. And I've had a lot of people along the way try to invalidate that and try to invalidate how horrible those things were to me and how they impacted me and how all of that transpired. Because this was just the beginning of some other bullshit. Well, this being the pictures that I just put in there, but this story being that way. Later, guys.
Okay, so now I wonder if I have music on here that I can play in the background while I read this dramatic telling of the story. How's that? Is that loud? Is it quiet enough? Do you guys like that for the story? Okay. Tell me if it's too loud and I'll turn it down. But so I'll show you this. I'm going to have to keep sharing and then unsharing just so that I don't show anything that I don't want to show, okay? Because I'm being respectful because, hey, cherub. All right, so the music's fine. Cool. So here is this because it's relevant in the story. So there's this. Old Roz in the hospital. Okay. And then that was January. Wait, stop going. So that was January 2nd that we just saw. This how can I crop that person out? This was also January 2nd outside the restaurant, I suppose. Okay. I'm trying to be delicate here. So it says same night. My aunt asked me to do this when I didn't want to, but I knew my family abroad would like to see me smiling. So that's January 2nd. Okay, and then here comes the story. Sorry, my stomach's doing that thing again. I should turn the music up so you guys can't hear it. It's lunchtime. In the woods having a camp out on the 2nd. Oh my God, I thought that was outside the Korean barbecue for some reason. Okay, well, I'm going to read this. I'm not going to show it to you guys because I don't want to tell names, okay? Or anything like that. So, it says, trigger warning, SA legally alleged as the police statement was not properly investigated and declined during COVID. More details than I've shared publicly, I believe. I cannot remember if I've publicly shared the second picture before, but this was 48 hours apart and I have a story. Someone I deeply cared for took this first picture before about 4 hours. I was assaulted by someone they loved. That person will always be a monster to me, especially in the dreams I was forced to have. Met the man in plus-size Atlanta circles, the BBW party communities, none specifically, just online through Facebook groups and 6-month friendship. I shared that second photo when it happened, just not on my profile. I shielded myself by downplaying how I was extremely suicidal. Yeah, sorry about my tummy. To avoid 1013. To avoid the 1013, I got 24 hours later. Want to hear how that happened? Someone else, same circle, known as my best friend, dating a loser, who I still have the screenshot telling me to end it quickly and quietly. I also have the evidence the police refused to take when I finally got the balls to go to them for both of them. I unfriended hundreds of people, because of the stark silence, massive judgment, and constant slut shaming I received. It was disgusting. My actions of 2019 didn't ask for what happened at my trusted friend's house at 2 a.m. within 2 hours of 2020. This is publicly on our Instagram, guys, so I'm not reading anything that I shouldn't be. Then there's something missing. It says, against the evil witch, she made a mockery of this photo in my private 12-person group with said misogynistic twat loser living off his wife's money and something the one trust she wanted for him to not cheat with that one person, my friend. Well, ex-friend, if you will. They literally ignored what I said to my friends in my chat that I organized and went back and forth about random movies like I had said nothing about my trauma. My real friends talked to me privately. I was too weak when during the worst 3 days of my life, at the time she called me, she was drunk again while outside my favorite KBB place, trying to pretend I wasn't just dreaming of driving my car into a wall and that I was not overdramatic, and his misunderstanding was calculated and planned. I didn't tell her every single detail, just way too fucking many. No, I'm fine. I ate before I came on so that my tummy wouldn't do that. I'm not starving to death, guys. I want to read this. My real friends talked to me privately. It was too weak. She's drunk again. Every single detail. Okay. I'm only still friends with 3 people from that group chat. There were a minimum of 12 or more people. Ex-boyfriend is one of them. Many friends saw it in real time. So many credible witnesses to my version of events, and reminder for legal reasons only that this is alleged. I didn't understand in the moment that it was the wrong move to make. My cousin, you can see it in her face, the confusion when my aunt wanted to take my picture. In my confusion, I closed my eyes because I didn't want to see the moment, but I'll tell you what I remember. I remember being so convinced that the doctors thought I was a drug addict. I just wanted something to help me sleep. I thought my body was failing because I wasn't sleeping, and even when I was, my heart rate would never de-escalate no matter how much I used my breathing techniques. Something. They were trying to keep my mom in the loop when I was too ashamed to just do it myself. I remember hearing voices. I remember how they fought for me. They backed up my story. Friend held my hand and rubbed my back. Had CBD coconut oil from California. She rubbed on my temples, and when I couldn't stop sobbing from the lack of sleep, the pain in my head, or the anxiety attacks, I actually risked $10,000 or more in medical bills. I had avoided the hospital barely 3 other times. That led me to quitting that shitty job in the second weeks of December 2019. Don't know what this has to do with anything. 2020 was hell. From about February to April or May, I was manipulated and lied to heavily by an ex-friend, a different one, who preyed on my helplessness. The only narcissist I was refusing to completely cut off from my childhood years. She's evil for what she's done. The rest was depression and trying to wait out logistics to get to Omaha once ex-boyfriend, and I knew for sure moving back would be worth it. In November of 2019, almost early December, about my birthday. I had gotten some answers I needed. So many details I never planned to divulge, but many I will, and it'll piss a lot of people off. I don't care anymore. I am so effing thankful I had this picture. I was so ashamed to post back then, unless I did in the stupor of needing support. I felt really isolated and my friends truly protected me in the day they were randomly, unexpectedly together on January 2nd, having no idea the extent of my trauma and not judging me for it. God, I needed it. But the hugs, the lotion, the migraine, thank you. Oh, there's more. Something truly laughed after my assault. Oops. It was when my aunt asked again to take a picture, I'm sure for my mom to, here we go. So including me realizing the first nurse I was assigned was a man I had chatted with on Facebook dating when I was single. He was almost identical in appearance to the man who had assaulted me, except he had both front teeth. What the fuck? And was a nurse instead of another industry. Same height. I'm not going to read out his description. I still have the photos that make me want to vomit when I see them. I'm ready to go to court if I'm ever forced to. I'll fight for my right, for my story. I will not let gossip stop me from speaking my truth. I will never let lack of funding stop me. Fuck you for taking my voice away, and even more for thinking you had that right to even look at me, let alone reach your hand out to tap my shoulder and speak to me after I almost fainted. Instead, collapsed to the surface and rushed off. From what you did, my hate for you will not live in my heart, but solely in my anger that I hold for predators. That's why I wanted you to see this photo, initials, in that stupid group chat. My decision to share that and expect a good response was short-sighted and stupid, but I'm not stupid for doing it. My friend posted a TikTok of her screaming, and finally, something mine. Oh my God, we're nearly done. Fuck you, you monster. You will never be held within my compassion again. But the children that I put makeup on sitting on your bed, that's why you aren't in jail. You sick fuck. Rot. It's what you deserve. That's about it, really. I think. And then she has a thing here saying, I will never be silenced by my fear like this again. The rage in me has been and always will be just for what I had to endure for trusting the wrong people. I will continue to take accountability for anything I did that was wrong in 2019, but I won't allow my friend of being shamed silence me ever. Fuck you. I lost so much love because of your selfishness. Those close to you still probably suffering from you, monster. I mean it when I said, I hope you rot. And then she was like she was saying like that she was going to message people that she knew and give names for people to block. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know what this is and whether I can play it. I don't, heads up, I don't really know what this is. I'm going to share it with you guys. One sec. It's just her voice. How's everyone going? Is everyone okay? Is everyone coping? This one did come with a trigger warning, but this is all public on her Instagram. So, I mean, I'm trying to be a little bit careful with what I'm showing, but I mean, it's part of the story. Oh God, the wish list.
I want it to be very clear that the story will also be read in the strength of this voice. And fuck anybody that's gonna try to stop me. Because you won't be able to. To be very clear. I'll make it a living hell for you. Because I have the truth. And I've always had the truth, even when I was lost in a sea of other people's lies.
I don't know, man. Like, why did you have this up here? Why are you reading it like you're reading a monologue? This is all on her Instagram.
I will never be put in situations like that again. Ever. I will die under a bridge alone before it happens again. And I mean those words with every fucking fiber of my being. I have so much I need to say. And it will be read. It'll be read and heard in the clarity of my fucking truth and my story. In my time, my way. Let's have a good 2020.
So this is January 2nd, 2020. Waiting for a ride. Trying to cope with humor.
They said, let's leave 2019 behind us, they said. Little did they tell you. Everything just gets so much worse. Hey, last time I made an Instagram story, I was in a really bad state. And it's been, I don't even know how many days since, probably like maybe about a week, 8-9 days. I just want to apologize to anybody that I freaked out with how I was acting, because I had some people being like, hey, are you okay? Because no, I wasn't. And I'm still trying to get better. I've been through a lot.
8-9 days.
This past week has been really bad. And if you're on my Facebook, you know what's going on, because I had a meltdown before I sought out help. I just wanted to say that I'm okay.
Oh, you guys can't see it. This is labeled January 10th. FYI. Sorry.
I don't want to share too much on Instagram because I don't know who's watching this, but I'll just keep it very brief. I have a lot that I am reflecting on and owning up to this past year after a series of horrifically traumatic events happened, starting about 2 hours into the new year to now. I'm finally home and safe. I called 911 for help before I attempted.
I'm going to leave it there for that one. Wait, let me just stop sharing and listen to it. Oh, she just said attempted anything. After having people that I trusted telling me to unalive someone I considered a friend. Why are her friends telling her to unalive herself after she was assaulted? She said that her best friend didn't believe her. And she was already going through a nervous breakdown. I asked for help and ended up going through one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. More so than the assault. Hang on. I'm going to actually show you guys this because I think it's important. Hold on. Trigger warning, guys. Obviously, at this point, I think you're all aware that this requires a trigger warning. If you are sensitive to this kind of stuff, please step away. I am going to be sharing and unsharing just because I'm a little bit nervous about what she's going to say. And if she's going to say people's names and stuff, that's all.
I asked for help, and instead I went through one of the most traumatic experiences of my life.
more so than the assault, which is also horrifically traumatic for me. So I'm getting help. I'm finally getting the help I should have asked for a long time ago before these things occurred. Had I done that, it may have never happened, but I'm okay as I can be. And we're doing a lot of reflecting because I have things that I need to take ownership of that led me to this point. The experiences after.
I'm just gonna stop quickly. Hold on. What happened to me on New Year's? Hang on. The experiences. Wait. Okay. Let's just see, guys. You with me? Hold my hand.
Is after what happened to me on New Year's. While horrific, have already opened my eyes to the thing that I was praying for, which was a direction and an answer. Because I'm about to dedicate the rest of my life to advocating for the people that I saw in there with me.
So back to the hospital.
Neglected and mistreated like I was. So one day I'm gonna go into everything. A lot of my close friends and even not so close friends know I posted a status about it on Facebook, but
hang on, I just want to check she's not going to say any names. I don't want public scrutiny on a lot of things. And I don't even know why I'm making this story, but I just felt prompted to. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best getting the help that I need. So, I'm doing much better now. I'm coherent now. It's been a really rough couple of weeks. So now it's just time to reflect and heal and move on. But let's see what's going on here. No, she doesn't say yours or Brit's, Chris, funnily enough. She says her ex's name and she's like says her aunt and cousin's name stupidly. I'm just trying to be delicate. I want to say more, but I don't want to re-traumatize myself right now, and I need to focus on healing and not continually rehashing everything. And yeah, there's a lot more to go. Nods, but I'll be okay. Smiling, I'll be good. It'll be okay. And then we have troll voice again. Hold on.
But my story has never and will never change at the core of the facts. Regardless of opinions, hurt feelings, or anything of that matter, my story has and will.
I'm going to read it. Hang on. Yeah, I'm glad that I stopped there because she shows a picture of her ex, which I want to leave that man alone. This was the night I started my book. The first night I felt safe in 2020 when best friend slept on my couch. My dad used to say to death, "How do you eat an elephant, Rosie?" When I was overwhelmed, it stuck. Writing in my notes app and spending time editing it and posting it on Instagram was therapeutic. The hate was not. I need to eat the elephant one bite at a time. I was overwhelmed. They saw I was overwhelmed. My dad didn't know how to get me to see it. I am thankful my parents loved me. I would be dead if my parents didn't love me. A lot of children pass away from the emotional toll of neglect. I felt neglected because they worked so much, but they worked so hard to take care of me, of us. I didn't see it because I was drowning. I'm so tired. I want to turn my pain into art. I want to be an artist. I've always wanted to be an artist, but I never felt I was good enough to even try. I struggled so hard. It was so hard to try and do things, chores, anything. I was depressed. It took so much energy to do things, and I had the energy, but I also didn't. I didn't sleep a lot. And then she has a picture of her ex. Thank you for helping me. And then she's saying here, I've newly organized all my highlights with my archives. I hope your stomach sinks harder than mine did. Okay. I don't know what this is though, because it's like says something strange here. So here, this is where we are. Nope, here. I don't know what this stop Asian is about. We've got memories, and then we've got 2020 assault. Content warning. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this worthlessness. He tried to hurt me. I got away in time before I was fully hurt. Trigger warning, guys. Trigger warning. Don't know if I really want to read this. But I got away in time. I got away in time before I was truly hurt. He knew I didn't want it. I froze. I felt guilt. My best friend didn't believe me. So many people didn't believe me. So many people needed my silence. My silence was killing me again. My silence made me anxious. My best friend didn't believe me. She told me I overreacted. Someone I didn't know harassed me to go to the police. My best friend's boyfriend told me to unalive myself. My best friend cared more about her feelings than about me. My heart wouldn't stop racing. Her pain hurt me. So many people said cruel things. I needed compassion, and these people that I trusted were heartless. I've had traumas as an adult, but the trauma of my two closest friends allowing me to be violated in their home, and then two other friends violated my trust in them, it hurt. I called 911 on myself when I felt the most unsafe I ever have in my life. The only thought I could think of was driving myself into a wall. They hurt me too. They sent me to a place that didn't give me water or food for so long. A place that didn't advocate for me. A place that refused to allow me to sit down for counsel because I didn't have money. I wanted to unalive because I felt hopeless, and they sent me to a place where the doctors ignored me and refused to help me. I called to go somewhere that would help me, but it was like prison. I disassociated to survive. I helped the elderly in pain, being ignored as much as I could. I helped people I could. Once I snapped out of my psychosis because reality was not real. I worked tirelessly to get out of there. There were no clocks. The bed was inadequate, and it hurt, and there was yelling and whatever. I don't know if I want to keep going. It's just, she's again just bitching about the hospital. Yeah, she's like the rest of it's all about Anchor. It's all about the hospital. She's posting other people's reviews of the hospital, like 1-star reviews. And then she's got a picture here. It says, someone just let me know my slightly intense audio. So this was like going on and on and on, like 24/7, I'm pretty sure. Someone just let me know my slightly intense audio from last night kind of sounded like a slur because of where Instagram cut it off. I said the word never right before it was cut off. Just to be clear, I don't think a racial slur would have even made sense in context, but I just don't need that kind of misinterpretation with this topic. And inside something about an inside joke with a friend ongoing in Facebook comments about being a southerner and never trying grits. The first time was January 6th or 7th, I believe, after meeting med-induced psychosis and water deprivation and begging every human face that looked at me for water. I was given gluey, nasty grits with no fat or flavor and a small 4-ounce couple of juice too, because the nurse felt bad. The male doctor interviewed me naked, wrapped in 2 blankets on a bed with 1 flat pillow, and only with a nurse because I begged as hard as I begged for my disgusting 4-day-old clothes to be cleaned. And for those psychosis lost hours, I had to tell my friend late January why grits can never be funny again. And that's enough for now. I'm just listening to something. Okay, she's talking about the hospital here. Hold on. I can show you guys, I think. We'll wrap it up after this.
Idea when, but sometime I'm gonna be getting my records and I'm gonna figure out the name of the doctor that I watched eventually start treating me more like a human being once I figured out how to start acting like what he wanted. So, and how I was able to manipulate him to believing I was okay to get out sooner, or for them to just let me out within 72 hours. And how I was manipulated to sign things that I didn't understand. And how I was advised to just sign and do what they say to get out. And that's what I should have done in the moment. That's what I needed to do. The horror of those halls that I saw firsthand, that was told by the timing of that review lined up almost perfectly with when I was there. And it lined.
Oh my God. So she's talking about, okay, so some of the reviews is like people's experiences, right? And she's saying like, it's crazy that review in particular lined up exactly with when I was there. Oh my God, please don't tell me that she's stealing stories from the reviews. I might have to go back. Hold on. Just let's have a look at the reviews that she shared. One sec. Okay. So here's the reviews. Okay. Anchor Hospital. I had to visit this place. As soon as I walked in, the lady at the front desk told my mom to shush. Employees near the door were smoking. No. I would give this place 0 stars if I could. It's absolutely horrible. If you get a choice on where you're staying, inpatient, don't pick this place. And Rosie's got a little comment down here. It says, I had just celebrated my 28th birthday months prior before I was denied access to drinkable water for over 12 hours during withdrawal from hospital meds that induced psychosis. Never take your loved ones here if they are mandatorily held at this location. Instruct them, do not sign anything. Get a lawyer immediately if you have the means. Demand that they are moved to a facility. Ugh. No, girl. Huh. Obviously, clear manipulation to milk as much money from the insurance company as possible. So she's just taking this bits and pieces from these stories and adding them. So when she was saying like, I heard that if you had private insurance, they would hold you even longer to take your money. It's like, well, somebody said it in a review and you're regurgitating it. My friend didn't believe me. This is again about the fucking group chat. You are fucking lame, lol. Offered advice for your situation, and in return, you remove me from the pity Rosie group, lol. Good luck with your never-ending problems. Do yourself a favor and end it quietly and quickly. So that's the message that sent her off the edge. 1 sec. Okay, so now we're back to the timing of that review.
You lined up almost perfectly with when I was there. And it lines up a lot with the story of a pregnant girl that I knew. The girl who didn't need to be there.
Dude, you're unhinged at this point.
She just needed help. She was kidnapped too. And someday I'll talk about Mr. Owl. I think he might stay for my book. But that was the nickname I gave him while I was there.
Anyway. Hold on, let me just check what's coming up. I don't want to put anyone's picture. I'll No, okay, it's just her face, so I can show you.
I saw things I should have never seen. For being assaulted.
Oh, I forgot about the music.
By someone I cared about. Not just someone that I thought I cared about, but by the entire world around me. Because I was trying to build this new life on a complete fallacy.
Yeah, these are still up on her IG, Aussie.
Of expectations that I never should have had. And that part I understand. But beyond that, the shit I was forced to deal with.
Hey, Crab Life. I didn't see you coming in. Welcome.
I have to get strong enough to pull records from a place that probably won't give them to me without a lawyer. I'm gonna need to find out what I signed. I'm gonna need to figure that part out. But I'm taking Anchor down. That's all I know. And it might be 10 years from now, but I'm gonna be there the day the rubble hits the dirt. And I hope that it's legally and literally.
Yeah, this is very delusional. Let me just double check. There's nothing coming up. And after we finish these, I'm going to hop off. What a way to end the stream. Anyone got a birthday? Anyone need a song? Oops. Okay, so, oh God, what did I do? Where were we? I skipped too far and it went to the start. Hold on, I'm going to reshare with you guys. I know this is very fiddly. I just don't want to dox anyone. I don't want to show anything too bad.
I have to get strong enough to pull records from a place that probably won't give them to me without a lawyer. I'm gonna need to find out what I signed.
Hey, Job. Good to see you. Thank you for being on the replay. This has been a very weird stream. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here. I'm just kind of winging it. Gusha's telling the story about Anchor. So here we are looking at her Instagram stories from that time. And I am kind of lost about what this fucking story is, to be quite honest.
I'm gonna need to figure that part out. But I'm taking Anchor down. That's all I know. And it might be 10 years from now, but I'm gonna be there the day the rubble hits the dirt. And I hope that it's legally and literally.
choosing to protect myself and not open myself to misinterpretation as I continue working on my EMDR trained therapy. And I do that best in low lit rooms and quiet when I'm alone, which is why a lot of my Instagram stories in the past were a lot like this. Because those were the moments where I was the most authentic to myself and the people that knew me. Because I wasn't overstimulated consistently by everything.
Right. And then, don't sexualize me, guys. Don't sexualize me with my Adam and Eve thingy. This one was creepy too. I have shown this before, but like this was also post Psych Ward 2023. She's insane.
Let's get down.
With all the strength of a raging fire. Everybody feels kind of weird some days.
Hi guys. It's your girl. For real. It's been a weird couple months and an intense couple weeks. Having your mental health and your disabilities exploited against you is a really intense experience. And having been victimized so much by exploitation in my life, I had a sense.
I just don't fully, okay, and I'm not belittling. I'm sure something happened that she didn't want to happen, right? Or I'm sure the way that I'm gathering this story is that something happened that she didn't want to happen, and when she said something to her friends were like, fuck you, and disowned her, and that was more upsetting to her than the actual assault. She said it, and then going to Anchor Hospital was again more traumatizing than that. Is that kind of what you guys are getting from this? Like, I'm putting this together with you guys because I've always been very confused about this. I'm not denying that nothing happened or anything like that, but I'm just like, I'm befuddled. So yeah, this was after Psych Ward trip number 3, right before she started YouTube. We're not going to get through all of these. I've been through all of these before. If you guys want to see more of this.
A sense of rage that was so much deeper than a meaningless friendship that needed to never happen to begin with. But it was the cat.
Thanks, Arcs and Cycles. I always get like a bit anxious doing this kind of thing because I know that people are going to say that I'm trying to say that nothing happened to her and she's being dramatic, but that's not really what I'm saying. I'm saying like something happened and maybe she didn't want to acknowledge that was like really traumatic, and so everything else surrounding it became the more traumatic part. It's a tricky topic to discuss, obviously, hence the trigger warnings and all of that. And I'm only showing what she still has up publicly available on her Instagram. So I mean, like, I didn't dig. This is just there. Hope you guys are all coping. I hope you guys are all okay. This time around was a little less dark. Don't make friends in the Psych Ward. I think Princess Pirate Pickle Pants emailed me a song, so I'll see if I can open up my emails in a sec. Kinda. She wants to be believed for these allegations, but she didn't believe another victim and was willing to make contact to question them, to interrogate them. This is true. Yeah, it's hypocritical of her. Like, we're expected to believe it. Not that I don't believe, but like, how can you say that people have to believe you when you didn't believe other victims? So, thank you. Try my best. I don't want to trigger anyone. I don't want to upset people. I don't want to be insensitive, but I think that's why I was like, do I show? It's part of the story. So, and I think for me anyway, it's important to have all parts of the story that are publicly available. Have I ever heard of Gerald Riviera, a former journalist? No, I haven't. I don't think. I'm not very good with names, though, as you guys know by now. Yeah. Something happened. She freaked out, trauma dumped on her friends. Friends set boundaries. Well, and she removed the guy, the alleged assaulter, from the group chat, and everybody got mad and said that she was being dramatic and that she should unalive herself, basically. Which I understand that is probably very traumatizing. Thank you guys. You guys are helping me because I'm kind of vibing off you guys. I'm like looking over at you guys going, are you guys okay? If you guys are okay, I'll keep going. This was still dark because she still comes across very twisted, but it's less hard to tread than the assault stuff, if you know what I mean. Because with the assault stuff, she put a lot of names and a lot of like pictures of people that probably don't want to be on YouTube. So yeah, it's a bit tricky to juggle around that. So I'll play this one and then I'm going to go, but I will link you guys the playlist that this is in. So, let me go onto this account and then I can show you guys my get off. Okay, I just want to go to my channel. Okay, so playlist. So if you guys ever wanted to watch me go through this Instagram stuff, it's here, pre-YouTube QLR. Okay, history lessons. I will link it in the description of this stream as well for you guys, just so that you have it. You can watch it. It's the wrong. Whatever, I'll do it, but I'll put it here as well. Yes, Chris deserves the absolute best in life and deserves all of the happiness and all of the joy and all of the kind and supportive people to surround her, okay? Yeah, I think one person did that. To me, it sounds like maybe she was, because they were doing a lot of swinger stuff. They were in the swinger scene. I believe she'd been friends with these people for 6 months before the assault happened. I think that the guy was her best friend's partner or something like that. I don't know. I'm just hashing it together from what we've just seen, what we've just read. And so when she accused him of that assault, everybody was like, shut the fuck up, KYS, which is not right. But I mean, I don't understand why, what happened. She showed that message. I just showed it a few minutes ago, Ozzy. There's just one message. Okay. So now, just back to this quickly, and if you guys want to see the rest of this stuff through me, and possibly, I think, Cam, because he was still reacting with me at the time, so don't be shocked if you hear his voice, then we went over all of this stuff.
Catalyst to an amount of self-growth.
Hugs to Chris, everyone.
I didn't believe.
Can we all hug Chris, please? Can we all hug Chris? Please, just quickly. Hugs.
Enough in myself to have. So in a way, I guess, thanks for that. But at the end of the day, my energy's not shifted towards that ever.
Thanks, guys.
I have finally been diagnosed with major depressive disorder, second diagnosis of PTSD, and undiagnosed dissociative disorder, because that requires further follow-up, as well as the autism. However, there has been psychiatric confirmation that my self-assessment is pretty valid. I am also, at least for the past 1 to 2 months, an untreated diabetic, which is why I needed the cane to help with my dizziness and my brain fog.
So the reason that I found all of this interesting was that this was after she had that huge falling out with Rain and Ivy, she checked herself into the psych ward. So after anything major, anything friendship group, whatever, community, psych ward. Yeah. So that's what she did this time. Well, Chris was the victim of Rosie for over a decade. So that's why we're giving her hugs, because she was extremely manipulated, treated terribly, treated like a bit of a beating post for Rosie, and had to put up with a lot of her shit. And she didn't deserve it. Simply, she didn't deserve it. And whenever Chris needed a friendly ear, someone to lean on, Rosie wasn't there for Chris in the same way. So, yeah. A piece of shit friend. But we love Chris. And as I've been telling Chris, if it wasn't for her enduring this abusive relationship for so long, it's very unfortunate. I wish that it didn't have to happen to you. I wish it didn't happen. I have it all downloaded, Bella. Don't worry. It's been downloaded. And I've been showing it since the beginning of my channel. So, but yeah, Chris didn't deserve that. But if it wasn't for her going through that, we would have never had Chris. So I am very, very... I'm sad that Chris went through that. It really fucking sucks because she's a really, really genuinely good person and doesn't deserve it. I also feel very lucky to have met Chris because of this. So, big love to Chris and Britt. Yeah, everybody stands with Chris and Britt. And it's that kind of abuse and sort of dangerous and irresponsible behavior that Rosie does is why I'm pretty much solely react to her, and I'm going through all the archives, you know? I want to make sure that as many people know about her as possible, and be warned. And if you leave her community, know that you're not going to be berated how you might have been in the past. You're going to be wrapped up with hugs and love from an extremely supportive community over here. And I think we're going to end it on that note. Let me just check my emails, because Princess Pirate Pickle Pants, I think, sent me an email. And I got to go. My mum's going to be like, where are you? Song. Where is the song? Millie, can you stop licking? No. No, I hated this yesterday. I was like, make it stop, but I'll play it. Hold on. I better turn off this other song. Yeah, thank you guys for helping me navigate that. I'm always a bit worried that by accident I'm going to overtread and show something or say something that I shouldn't say. But really, I wouldn't be able to navigate it without you guys. You guys help me a lot by giving me feedback, constantly telling me, you know, you're good. No, stop there. Oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay. And checking in with how you're feeling about things too. You guys help me a lot. So that music has put everyone to sleep, I'm sure. Let's quickly play this, and then I'm going to end the stream because I need to go and see my mother. Ready? as everybody is leaving, I just want to once again say thank you very much to all of you for being here. Thank you to all the new subs. Thank you to my regular chatters. Thank you to the replay crew. And thank you so much to my beautiful, amazing mods. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Enjoy your Easter if you celebrate. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will definitely, if we have Rosie live tomorrow, I'll be there. We'll be there. All right. Okay, guys, take it easy. Bye.
Rosie in the office chair, spinning like a storm. You laugh, you swear. Grab her in your royal hand, plucking little specks from the laundry land. Mouse dust on a t-shirt sleeve, you hold it up like a sacred leaf. Every day thrown in a cubicle room, you roll, you bloom. You're my sunflower axolotl, babe. Little pink smile in a plastic wave. Weird and tender, that's our way. Yeah, that's our way. You're my sunflower axolotl, see. Soft, bright heart in a world of screens. Strange little gift that feels like we're always meant to be. You joke about weighing down the moon. Chair wheels squeal a clumsy tune. Boobs flap wild like windsocks high. You throw your head back, don't ask why. Crumbs in the keys of your desktop shrine. You wink and say this mess is mine. I send you pics just to make you grin. You send that lizard with the silly fins. You're my sunflower axolotl, babe. Little pink smile in a plastic wave. Weird and tender, that's our way. Oh, that's our way. You're my sunflower axolotl, see. Soft, bright heart in a world of screens. Strange little gift that feels like we're always meant to be. Roll to me, chair and all. I'll catch every wobble, every fall. You say you're too much, I say please don't stall. I like you exactly this odd. You're my sunflower axolotl, babe. Little pink smile in a plastic wave. Weird and tender, that's our way. I like it that way. You're my sunflower axolotl, see. Soft, bright heart in a world of screens. Strange little gift that feels like we're always meant to be.
No, that'll do. Thank you very much, Princess Pirate Pickle Pants, for that lovely, creepy song. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, if you want to head over to another stream, Salmon, watch this one on the replay. I recommend it. It was a good one. It was good to go through this again, I think. Jenny's going to be streaming in sometime very soon. So here's Jenny's channel. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you to the people who are late. I will catch you on the replay. Yeah. And otherwise, if Rosie's streaming tomorrow or if she's got a vlog out or whatever, I'll be here because I have another day off. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Thanks for everyone for being here, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao.